wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the Whiteblood panorama, a show that takes a look at anything of human interest. I'm your host, Omar Isa from Whiteblood Multimedia. Students in Nigerian public universities have been at home since February the 14th due to another round of industrial actions. Well, plainly, let's just say strike. As we all know, everyone is affected, especially the students who have invested most of their hopes and interests and ambitions as well in this very degree program they are doing. So as they say, they are sick and tired of it. Someone may just think, how possible is it for the students to be tired of resting? Why? Because they are at home, not having to be scared or worried or even anxious about anything related to exams, tests, and other school-related pressures. But the story is entirely different, because a student who should have or would have graduated this year told me, and I quote, "I got broke, depressed, oppressed, you name it." This is a story of one out of tens of thousands of young people out there who are terribly affected by this strike. So the questions we're going to be asking are, who are the students blaming? Is it the government or the lecturers? How serious are the students taking this issue of strike? Are they taking it for granted? And what are they doing to keep themselves busy? Well, to answer these questions, I'm joined right now in the studio by two comrades. A man and a woman. Well, a guy and a lady. Let's put it this way. First of all, we got Tapida Sabu Ankilu. He's an incumbent Student Union Government Welfare Director from USIG Metamasile University, Kano, and he's also an affiliate student at the Faculty of Humanities, Department of History and International Studies. He is founder of Tafida Cares, an organization that incorporates history, combined and international studies with purely purpose of assisting students academically and financially. Tafida is known to be an indomitable student activist who always is fighting for students' rights and liberty, and he is now contesting for presidential seat of Students' Union Government at USIG Metamasile University chapter. Well, thank you very much indeed, comrade, for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, we got an iron lady. Her name is Hawajida Sway. She is a student of mass communication by University Kano, and at the same time a businesswoman. She is the CEO of Blue Box Shop and the Vice President of Mass Communication Association Makosa by University Kano. Thank you very much indeed, Jida. Well, we're going to be talking to them about how this strike has personally affected them, and then how it has, by extension, affected the rest of the students. Let me begin with you, Jida. Why have you chosen to study mass communication?
Well, since from my young days, I guess I've always been interested in talking. Yes, giving out my opinion, using my voice for anything I could, because obviously people always told me like I have a loud voice. So I always loved using my voice for various reasons. I was a social prefect in my in this secondary school. So since from there, I guess I developed an interest for mass communication and journalism. As long as it's creativity, writing, talking, into it. So actually, that's one of the reasons why I chose mass communication.
So which part of journalism are you predicting yourself to be? Like a studio presenter, TV host, newspaper article, columnist, something like that?
Yeah, I'm more into creative writing. So I don't, maybe creative journalism. I'm more around those areas. That's what I'm more interested in.
That's great. That's great. Okay, Tabida. Let's talk about this. The same question. Why are you studying international relations?
Yeah, the reason why I decided to go for international studies is that I tend to realize that the problem of Nigeria is not about corruption, it's not about bad governance alone. It is all about that most of those people that are running the country, they lack international relations studies. That's what I mean. They don't know what is foreign policy, they don't know how to deal with international systems. So that is why, because I want to be a politician one day, and I am afraid that maybe perhaps I'm going to be a leader. So I want to study international relations to have a good background about international politics, international politics, as well as the foreign policy, so that if opportunity is given to me as one of the stakeholders of Nigeria, I will use that knowledge to progress Nigeria.
Someone would say you don't need a degree or masters in international relations to be able to rule a country, because domestic politics is entirely different from a foreign policy, from a diplomatic style, from a global politics. Is that right?
Yeah, no, it's not right, because if you become a president, you are going to deal with international system, and that's the kind of problem we are having. Most of our leaders know only domestic politics, and we are in a global era now. Our development is beyond national development. You need to know something about international system. You understand what I mean? You need to have effective foreign policies. You need to know how to influence international giant companies, FDI, foreign direct investment, to come and invest in your countries. You understand what I mean? So it is only through international study that you will have such kind of a knowledge to help your country.
Well, this is a topic for another day, and we're going to have an interesting, debate with you about this. There are so many things to come up. But since today we are talking about ASUU strike and how it has affected students, let's dive deeply into the crux of it. When we got the news broke on Sunday, the 13th of February 2022, that the academic staff union of the university, the lecturers are going on another strike. How did you receive the news?
To be very honest, I wasn't even active on the news platform, so I wasn't aware. After the news broke on Saturday about then, I went to school on Monday to see a lecturer about an event that we were doing. And coincidentally, I was walking by and I saw like a TV station trying to get interviews from students, and they were asking about the strike and are they aware of it and what are they like going to do about it. I was surprised when they asked me the same question, because before then I wasn't even like aware of it, because sometimes they might say the strike is going to happen and it might not happen, so I wasn't too keen or even excited about the strike and all that. I wasn't really ready to actually.
So it came as a surprise to you? It was
a surprise.
And a shock as well?
Not really a shock. By now we are used to all these strikes happening, so it wasn't a shock. I was just surprised because I wasn't aware of the strike going on.
What about you, Davida?
Yeah.
How did you receive the news?
Yeah, I wasn't surprised, because we are preparing for the second semester, and I have one of my lecturer. He is the VRO of the ASUU music chapter. So he's my best lecturer. So I had the issues of the strike maybe a week before. So I wasn't surprised when
you were aware a week before the strike kicked off that there would be a strike.
There would be a strike, because
it sounds like a league.
It wasn't a league, as she said, the Nigerian system. That's what I mean. So I asked him, why are you going to strike this time around? He said that because of defending issues of 2009 agreements, and I know it is very hard and impossible nowadays to have such kind of demands from the government. So that is why I know that they will definitely impact on this.
Which means if they were to resume, then you would know about it a week before.
No,
that's a joke. Okay. Now personally, Jidda, what have you been doing since February 14th? What have you been doing?
I've been running my business, obviously. Like, even during school days, I've never been discouraged because of maybe schoolwork and all. I knew how to handle both things separately. So I've been handling my business for like about 3 years now. I think for 4, going to 4 now. So immediately the strike started, I continued with my business. I didn't even think about school anymore, since obviously we were on the strike and everything. I just continued on with my business. That's just what I was doing.
So,
yes.
Are you hoping for the strike to end anytime soon?
I really don't mind.
No.
I'm like, everybody has his own perception and all. I'm not going to speak generally on this. There might be some people like they are very like keen for the strike to end and all, but if it ends, I don't mind. I'll go back to school.
Because your pocket is just receiving cash. That's what
I just feel like I have something to do, so it doesn't really bother me whether like the strike goes on or something like that.
Okay, later I'm going to ask you about a piece of advice to other students. What should they be doing to keep themselves busy? But what about you? What are you doing? Are you also a business guy?
So I'm also a business guy. If you look to my DV,
Sure.
CKT shoes, I'm also a scheduled officer of a shoe company.
Good.
The company of modern shoes. So we are making shoes. So I am running my business.
Do you make the shoes here or you import them?
No, we make the shoes here in
Okay.
Atikoparon. That's why we call it company.
Oh, good.
In fact, we are discouraging people to patronize Bollywood. We want to encourage our
Look at him. Somebody wants to say, who is studying international relations?
You know the nature of Nigeria.
Big stuff.
Yes.
And I'm always like talking about like less than him and all that.
No, it's just cool. It sounds cool.
So I'm running my business. I'm still good, of course.
So that's what you have been doing. Now, how does strike affect students in general? What kind of effects does it have on students?
It has too many effects. You can't even begin to like mention them one by one and all. But of course, like one of the students you mentioned from the beginning, maybe brokenness, like lack of funds, of course, because like everybody invested in school when the school like the semester was starting, maybe a place to live, food stuff and everything. But with the strike, and now you're not maybe getting any maybe funds from there are different situations.
Yeah, of course. The ladies get rich during school time.
I can't really relate to most of it. That's why I don't want to like mention most of them, but. Obviously, it might cause depression, maybe financial problems, different problems to be very honest.
Is it true that the ladies get much richer during school time? Yeah, I have to put it again to you because they said that every day their parents have to give them something, and they can even lie. Dad, we got some handouts to buy 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira. And it's only 500 naira.
What you just said about the handouts, my dad is a lecturer in UK, so he knows all about these handout stuff. So I don't know, maybe for some other girls they can lie about handouts, but my dad is always very strict about that. He knows that he's always telling me, Jida, they don't sell handouts anymore. If somebody is selling handouts, tell me, I'm going to report them to the school. All kind of stuff. So I don't really know, but maybe it might be true. But for me, to be very honest, I don't think
But do you believe? Do you agree? Do you know that there are ladies making money out of their parents because of this?
I know. I'm not going to say anything to be very honest. I don't know. But maybe it might be true also. I don't know, to be very honest.
So Tabitha, there are lots of impacts and effects, psychological, mental, academic, poor academic performance, stuff like that. From your own angle, how does it affect the rest of the students?
Let us view it from a different angle and views. Academically, mentally, as you mentioned, as well as the economic head. Like for example, let's begin with academic impact of this strike on our students. According to my research, I found out that from 1999, that is immediately after the resumption of democracy in Nigeria, to date, I also embarked on strikes 16 times. And if you calculate the total days of school hiatus caused by ASUU strike, it is about 4 years, which is equivalent to
just a degree. So I watched the funny video, and of course, and the guys were saying that even the strike has had a degree.
So you see, this 4 year is sufficiently enough for the 4 year degree to be completed. So one of the impact is the elongation of graduation of the year of graduation in the student. It's prolonged the years of graduation.
Instead of
thank God that we are all level 3 students here. We got admission, we secured admission, I think in 2018.
How did you know?
You have told me before we
but I didn't say it on camera. But anyway, of course.
So 2018, we're anticipating to finish our school in 2022, and we are now in 2022, but we are currently in level 2. Level 3. Thank God that I finished my first semester for.
But we have
the students from UK. They were preparing to start examination when the strike started. You know what I mean? So this clearly implies that we are going to spend another good year. We must.
So
we
instead
have already exhausted our 4 years now.
Okay, so instead of
We are in
graduating
2022.
in 2023,
And so
are you saying that we might graduate in
2023 or 24? God forbid. God forbid.
So I'm gonna have to get
So
married.
that's
I'll get married in 2024.
okay.
You know,
So that's
I've always
number one
been scared
impact.
of like 6-year courses,
Hmm.
all those
Yes,
so
of
I
course.
just said I should have just gone abroad or another country to study 6 years.
So you see,
And I would have been
Yes, exactly.
that's number one.
Mm.
Number two, rush of academic calendars.
Okay.
Rush of academic calendars. Whenever our school have a strike, you see our school rush to adjust our school calendars.
Mm.
That's what I mean. And they normally cut like 2 or 3 weeks out of our semesters. We, under normal circumstances, we spend about 13 weeks per semester.
4 months.
So whenever there is a strike or whenever I should call up a strike, the school management may decide to cut off about 2 or 3 weeks. You know what I mean? They will rush the students.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They will put us under pressure. You know what I mean? We have to read for continuous assessment and exam simultaneous, which of course at end it might affect our results.
Yeah.
You will see, you might see a first class guy transit to second class to third class. Third class,
Well,
have a carryover.
terrible.
A person that has 2 or 1 carryover at the end of the semester may end up having so many carryovers.
Jinta, can you remember when we came back after the 2023, after the 9-month-old strike that happened, that ran through 2020, after the COVID-19, of course, during and after the COVID-19 lockdowns, that when we came back from that strike, the calendar was kind of adjusted and the semester was rushed. And so after that, during the exams, a lot of people were stressed and they got some people could say they got depressed. This issue relating it to the mental health, how does it affect the mental health state of the students?
Well, as we were talking about before, there's a problem we have here, especially in the north, that we don't value mental health like a lot in the north right now, and it's a very important aspect of health. Like people just think, okay, if you have malaria, that's the sickness. But when you say you're depressed, people will think maybe it's a joke and all that. People don't take stuff like that seriously, but it's real. Yes, it's very real. Like people have problems with their mental. Maybe if they become depressed, they might not be able to do anything like productive and all that. And it's like very risky for somebody that is depressed. Like maybe people don't understand the person and all that. So with the strike, without doing anything, let's say somebody they will go on strike and maybe a student doesn't have anything to do and maybe he lives in another state, and to even go back to that place is a problem because like you're already like you set your maybe your mindset is ready for studying and everything, but it's put at a full stop because there's nothing to do. Maybe if you couldn't find a job after the strike and everything, so that might affect your brain into thinking maybe okay, you're not good enough, maybe you're not like doing all those kind of you start overthinking. A lot of people have that problem.
Sure.
So you start overthinking stuff, and all those kind of things can actually lead to depression.
Yeah, I just arrived at this. One student sent me a message, and I don't have to disclose her name, but she says, and I quote, "Well, I was depressed because I was so much ready to write exams, and I was anxious to finish the semester, but we didn't." And then she continues to say, "I was depressed because I literally became a housewife I did all the house chores and errands." She also continues to say, "I was always at home, alone, feeling lonely and depressed as well." She also continues to say, "I felt oppressed because I have been looking for a job, but because I don't have a degree, I couldn't get one. Finally," she says, "I started an internship at a radio station, but because they feel like I was just there to pass time, they made me pass time by doing nothing." So this definitely must have some psychological effect on her.
You know what's actually funny here is because she said she's oppressed. Many young ladies now get oppressed when they see girls getting married and all that. So it's kind of vice versa for them because maybe a married woman now staying at home, a helpful housewife, she's oppressed because she sees another maybe young girl having a job, doing a business and all that. So all those kind of stuff. So
what would you say to her as a piece of advice?
I'm not married, so I don't know how to put this, but
No, she said she's
not
becoming a housewife, like meaning she's just
yes,
like.
so that's what I'm saying now. I'm
No,
not
she's
married.
not. She's not. Yeah, she's not married.
Oh, she's not married. Oh, she's using like an example.
She isn't going nowhere, and that is why she's like a housewife. She's always at home.
You know, there's something about business. Like I didn't realize it before, but my mom always says she will tell me, she'll be like, it's not everybody that can handle a business. You know, everybody has his own like maybe capacity and everything. So somebody might see it as an easy to just start a business and it goes well and everything. But some people might start the business, they can finish their funds and everything, but it might not go well. So I'm not going to advise like just anybody to start a business. You can do something else. I mean, there are different. Even though I know like job, like you don't have your degree now, so to get a job is a problem. So and the part-time jobs myself now, when you try to get a part-time job, you might not get paid and all those kind of issues.
It's just exploitation.
Yes.
So she should just continue resting on that?
No, I don't think. But she should at least maybe pick up a hobby. It's a very important thing now. Like how you are making fun of me for watching my Korean. Hobby, and you might watch it, and then at least you might not be depressed for maybe or like oppressed for it.
So you're just saying that she should go and watch for you?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying she should just pick up a hobby. Everybody has some kind of hobby. It might be a sport.
Yeah,
it might be
to keep herself busy.
Exactly. So
Davina, what do you have to tell her?
Yeah, she has already advised her that I will call on her to start a business no matter how little it is.
To keep herself busy.
Yeah, this place your order is important. Not like
everybody can do it. That's just what I'm saying.
So at least she has to do it.
She should start baking cake.
Whatsoever. You know, slave
Yes, of course. So I bought another guy. His name is Comrade Bashir Arman. He says, it prolonged my graduation year. I was supposed to graduate in 2021, but the strike has made it impossible for every student to precisely say his graduation year, among other unfavorable issues. This is just a comment, and you've talked about
we have already explained that.
I mean, most of us are going to graduate with an expired ID card because the first year of graduation, we are going to finish
So expired ID.
Yes, of course.
That's also
Ours too is supposed to expire in 2022, but we don't know when it's or they're gonna have to renew it when we go back.
So we don't know the system.
I had to see Muhammad Abdullah says, to start with, ASUU strike affects the pursuit of my academia in no small measure. Number one, it unnecessarily prolongs my stay on the campus as a postgraduate student. This is because while strike is on, supervisors are enjoined not to attend to their supervisees in any way. This automatically brings my research to a halt, putting me in a miserably disappointing frame of mind to proceed. Yes, of course, this sounds, I don't know.
Yeah, I do understand what he's saying.
Of course.
So I think I would advise him to keep on his research in the story. We know that no condition lasts forever. Whether federal government meet with ASUU's strike or not, one day ASUU must come back. Or school must be reopened. In Australia, it must be reopened. And this research he's doing is something that he has to do. That's what I'm like. So I advise
him. But he cannot be motivated because simply because, like the lecturer, the supervisors, I mean, his supervisor will.
You should forget about the supervisors. That's what I mean. The research will keep him busy. Number one, it will increase to his knowledge.
What if he's going on a wrong direction and he needs fixing?
He will fix it when the school resumes.
So
does it really work that way?
I don't know.
Because we don't want students to be stranded at home. That's what I mean. That is why they will be.
I mean, you're saying like the school must resume. What if like the work will actually end tomorrow? So I don't know what's going to happen. All those kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So
I have already made myself clear that no condition lasts forever.
That's not.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. And we don't want our students to be stranded.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. And research is one of the things or stuff that will keep him busy.
But there's a problem of discouragement. Like sometimes you are like somebody. Take example for me. I was finally starting to get serious. Like of course I've been attending lectures and everything, but I started to actually go deep into the courses and like understand everything. But after the strike just went, I just like dropped my books, and I can tell you that I'm very serious. I can't remember like at least half of the name of my courses. The name
my God!
So I'm like,
that's another.
No, at home because I started studying because of the exams. Of course, we were about to start exams in the UK. So I was reading, I was studying, I was researching, writing my own notes, forming my own like studies and everything. But after the strike, like just started the strike, I think I put them in a book bag somewhere. I can't remember.
So your points. Let me extract out another point out of what you have said just now. This strike is making our education less interesting in Nigeria. You understand what I mean? Because as she said, a lot of people become unenthusiastic and disinterested about education. So that is why majority of them began to think of something that will do so that they will earn a living. That's what I mean. So, and what will happen to our country and what will happen to our future leaders when we don't have a sound education, when the youths lack good educations, or when the youth of the country become unenthusiastic in terms of education? What do you think will happen? Look at the situation we are in now, and majority of the stakeholders, ministers, and whosoever, they have the knowledge, they acquired the knowledge, they have the certificates, and see how they are running the country. So imagine a person without a sound knowledge, you know what I mean, attend to that position. What do you think?
What I think, Jeep, that this doesn't mean that abandoning your university handouts and books doesn't mean that you have stopped reading.
No.
Because you have reading for pleasure. You have novels, you have newspapers, and you have other stuff that you're reading.
Too, like he's into all this research stuff, all these deep thoughts that he keeps talking about. I guess it doesn't mean you stop reading. I'm actually I'm a bookworm. I love to read. I literally read every minute I get.
So I think there is no loss.
Like for example, I have told you the reason why I choose to study international relations. It is because I want to know much about foreign policy. Because according to my perception, it is a lack of foreign policy that makes Nigeria to be underdeveloped.
And is it from university that we get that knowledge?
We have experienced lecturers. That's what I mean. We have experienced lecturers. If you just take book and read, you may not understand it comprehensively as if a lecturer who is professional is on that particular.
Is it not written in English? Are those books not written in English?
It has to do with theories and other examples that will clear your mind.
Maybe for his course, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The possibility to help him. And you need can't read. Mass communication is like an open book. I mean, you can just read a sentence and obviously.
But at least you need the certificates.
You need the certificate.
You need the certificate.
So this is another interesting argument and debate. So which leads us to this: are you blaming the government or the lecturers?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the government.
So you're going to support the government and blame us?
No.
You say you're going to go with the government?
No, I meant it in the way like, as in, I'm going to support the lecturers and I'll blame the government.
Because you are part of ASUU. Your dad is a professor, so you're part of ASUU. So it seems like you're biased. What if the ASUU guys have their own issues under the carpet?
Well, I need to know more about their issues, and because I always hear about the issues of the lecturers and what kind of problems they have. I hear more about that. Maybe that's why I'm more headed towards the lecturers. I sympathize with them because I hear more about it.
And probably you don't want to know the problems associated with ASUU.
Is that what you think? No. I just like know more about it.
So you are sure that if the government can be serious, things will be solved?
But we are already seeing like the outcomes now. Now with the election coming, we are seeing like the problems of the ASUU, like the money is being taken and all that. It's already showing. We're already seeing that most of the problems are coming from the government.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who is to blame, ASUU or federal government?
I have to blame ASUU because since the inception of ASUU, that strike and industrial action.
So you are also of the opinion that ASUU should devise another means.
They should have improvised another means.
Okay.
Because what I mean, since they realize that the government is not serious about their strike, and government is no longer taking their industrial action into consideration, so they should have improvise something, that's what I mean, that will put government under pressure so that classes will resume.
Okay.
If they really want us to study.
We already run out of time. Let me put this. Okay. Yeah. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you know the kind of country we are in. That's what I mean. So whether we acquire knowledge or not, that's not the problem of government. That's how government indicates. That's what I mean. So as the ASUU, majority of them are lecturers. They know the importance of education. They know how this education will impact our life. I think they should do something. They should disregard federal government. You understand what I mean? And improvise other measures so that classes will resume. So definitely, I agree.
Let's hope they are currently watching you so that they will be able to take your advice. Farouk Ibrahim Garko says, I had submitted a final copy of my thesis. I am currently waiting for them to set up the date of my final defense. This is a master's or PhD student. But let me take this one. Barrister Umi Hadija, she did her degree and master's in the UK. I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, she is now in Nigeria. She started her PhD, unfortunately, 1 month.
Why?
A great mistake.
Why did she even do that? I mean, I had a chance to study abroad. You should have just stayed there and finished everything before coming back here.
So you're not advising her?
Very bad decision of coming back.
So you're not advising Barrister to go back to the UK?
Yeah, I think if
she has the opportunity, let her go back. If not, she will be depressed.
So
we don't want to lose Barrister.
I think she made a very bad decision, to be very honest. I mean, since sorry, just stick to that place. Why come back here and somebody else?
Thank God you are saying this openly to her. I will take it from here. Barrister, she says, and I quote, strike in Nigerian universities have been in existence for as long as we can remember. I personally have not experienced that because I acquired my LLB and Masters in the UK. However, I opted for a PhD program in Nigeria. The admission process went smoothly. And 1 month into the program, bam, the strike hit. She says, I am lucky that I do work, so I have got something to derive comfort from. But others might not be so lucky. ASUU strike doesn't mean the end for us. Try your hands on some skills. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. Let's keep alive the hope that our institutions will be revived to their full capacity. So it's just like she's just advising the students.
She reminded me.
Sympathizing.
Yeah, I think she's just.
She reminded me my first when I heard about the issues of these ASUU after the strike. The first thing that I posted on my WhatsApp, I stated that we gonna make it.
So you're gonna make it in what?
Without Western certificates. I mean that.
Have you changed your mind now?
No, I don't really change my mind. But let me use that opportunity to advise students. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, whether you graduated from the school, it is not common in Nigeria to secure a job. That's what I mean. So you should start thinking of what you are going to do. Skill and businesses.
That's why you're doing shoemaking.
And that is why we have
I'm still going to disagree with him because I believe and I'm very strong about that. It's not everybody that is very good in business. So people just can't do it. I know because I've seen so many people try to do this and
but let them do trial and error.
We have to
I'm not saying they should not do it, but some people can't. Maybe even if they try to do it, try.
So how can I know that I'm not the best guy to do a business? How can I know?
Then you did a trial and error, I guess. You try that it does not work, then you find something else to do. As I said,
and the idea is to keep ourselves busy.
Exactly. So it doesn't have to. I don't like the bias that people keep saying. Maybe
this is not a matter of.
You are not.
It's not a matter of keeping ourselves busy. It is a matter of living.
Okay.
Exactly. I'm saying the same thing, but I'm just saying I beg to disagree that like it has to be business. I don't like how people keep saying, oh, just because the strike is off, so find a business.
Yeah.
It upsets me. I know I'm a business person, but it upsets me because I know some people that cannot do that.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be a business. Find something. Okay, fine. Let's just analyze it. You can just say, okay, if the strike is going on, find something to do.
We are,
but it doesn't have to be a business.
The issue is that the majority of us now, we are after money.
Yeah.
We are after earnings.
You can't get married. Yes.
You can't just advise someone without watch Korean films.
No.
He will become bored.
He's married, that's why he's
No, I'm not married. I was kidding. So we don't have to spoil my market. Don't spoil my market.
Okay, so So one of your
that's what I'm
classmates
like,
probably watching.
So maybe I'll find beautiful girl you're watching
Yeah,
this interview and
I should just
become
say,
interested in me. So stop saying that I am single.
He's single, he has a business. That's what he's
yeah,
trying
of
to
course,
say.
of course. Well, I think we are running out of time. Umar Ibrahim Nasani, we have seen your message. Thank you very much. Is this the same thing he's emphasizing on the students to think out of the box and create something that would make them happy and keep them busy. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. One of your guys, comrade, is also a comrade. Comrade Umar Hamis Mufanaisa is the executive director of SEDSAC. Thank you very much for your contribution. He says ASUU strike has become an issue to Nigerian university students over decades in Nigeria, and it's still ravaging the entire educational sector. Of course, it is. Thank you very much for your long notes. We are really out of time, we can't take it, but thank you so much. Scholar, our classmate, has also contributed. He is also a columnist. He's writing articles on Daily Trust. Yeah, of course. Thank you very much, Scholar Abdullah Abdullah, for your. He's also talking about his plan. Like his plans of getting married has been scattered, has been destroyed. Because Scholar, so
that's a real social impact. That's a real social impact.
He doesn't understand Hausa.
Oh, the part was sorry.
Yeah, so Scholar. May you get married very soon. Well, that has been the end of the discussion. It doesn't mean that we have reached the end of the whole issues, but it's just because we are running out of time. And thank you very much, guys, for making this interview so lively and making it.
Thank you very much for the invite.
Of course, Jeddah and Comrade Tafida. Thank you very much. You guys, the two lovers of Korean movies. I am not. I've only watched 2 or 3 TV series. No. I've watched Iris and I've watched 3 Days, and that's it. And they're serious, I'm telling you. But I'm more of a Bollywood stuff and Hollywood.
No, it's very obvious.
Looking at my WhatsApp status, thank you. Well, that's the end of the show. It has really been interesting and exciting. I really like the way we have debated with Jeddah and Tafida. Thank you very much for coming on the show, and thank you to everyone that has contributed to the production of the show, and especially the CEO and the producer, Zainab Abdulrahman. May I go. I am Umar Isa, and we will say goodbye and have a wonderful day ahead.